If there were a city that softened the world with a single lake of mist, where mountains and water slip quietly into the rhythm of everyday life, and the colors of dawn and dusk paint the seasons like moving scrolls, what kind of serenity would such a city reveal? If there were a city that carries the radiance of 5 millennia, yet moves with the swiftness of the digital age, allowing the weight of history and the speed of tomorrow to illuminate the same riverbank, what kind of strength would it be offering the world? And if there were a city that slows your heartbeat just enough to hear life whisper, yet urges your dreams to run farther than you thought they could, letting gentleness and ambition share the same sky, then with what posture would it stand upon the stage of its time? This is Hangzhou, a city where the ancient and the modern walk side by side, where mountains and skylines coexist, where life keeps its poetry and the future keeps its direction. Hangzhou sits in northern Zhejiang province on the southern wing of the Yangtze River Delta. The mighty Qiantang River rushes from west to east, naturally dividing the city into two halves and giving Hangzhou its distinctive flow and rhythm. From above, the city reveals a rare harmony: mountains, water, and urban life woven into a single tapestry. Its beauty does not come from grand construction, but from the way the land itself seems to breathe the city into being. West Lake rests at the heart of Hangzhou like a quiet beating pulse, surrounded by soft green hills. The Qiantang River stretches outward like a strong artery, injecting the city with movement and vitality. Between them, the urban core unfolds gently, never in conflict with its natural surroundings. Hangzhou does not force density, nor does it chase after towering skylines for the sake of spectacle. Its form resembles a slowly unrolled scroll from the south of the Yangtze River. The lake as the eyes, the mountains as the bones, the river as the steady pulse. Here, nature is not an accessory outside the city. It is the foundation on which the city stands. From its very layout, Hangzhou tells you, its beauty begins with the land and water that cradle it. Hangzhou's cultural lineage has two profound currents, one rooted in the radiance of the 5 millennia-old Liangzhu civilization, the other carried by the graceful legacy of the Southern Song nearly 9 centuries ago. The Liangzhu civilization in Yuhang district lies the archaeological site of Liangzhu ancient city, one of the great proofs of early Chinese civilization. Its sophisticated water management system, finely crafted jade artifacts, and planned urban structures reveal a society far ahead of its time. In 2019, Liangzhu was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and in 2023, the flame of the Asian Games was kindled here, symbolizing a civilization whose light has never dimmed. The Southern Song and the birth of Jiangnan, elegance. In 1138, the Southern Song established its capital in Liangnan, today's Hangzhou. From that moment, the city became a center of both governance and refinement. Daily life in the Southern Song was filled with poetic warmth. Tea houses bustling with conversation, street markets winding like rivers, silk shops, bookstores, and riverside piers forming a gentle urban melody. And in more elegant corners of the city, incense gatherings, guqin melodies, painting workshops, and flower arranging, culture became not a symbol of status but a way of living. Many echoes of that era remain today. Yufei's Temple of Loyalty, the tranquil willows of orioles singing in the willows, the solemn Six Harmonies Pagoda, the stories that linger around West Lake. In Hangzhou, history is not something preserved behind glass, it lives in the city's temperament, soft, refined, quietly resilient. Hangzhou's natural beauty is not defined by a single landscape, but by 3 distinct and unforgettable forms. West Lake, the soul of the city. Winter snow settling gently on Broken Bridge, the golden glow of the sunset behind Liangzhu Pagoda, the quiet shimmer of moonlit water at 3 pools, mirroring the moon. These are images that have shaped Hangzhou for centuries. West Lake carries legends, the tenderness of the legend of the white snake, the sorrowful strings of butterfly lovers, and the unwavering loyalty honored at Yufei's temple. Here, softness and strength live side by side, the defining temperament of Hangzhou. Shixi National Wetland Park, where the city breathes. Known as the kidneys of Hangzhou, Jixi is a rare wetland preserved within an urban environment. Mist drifts above the waterways, reeds sway in the breeze, and the calls of birds echo gently across the marsh. It is a place where Hangzhou exhales, a quiet sanctuary in the midst of modern life. Qiantang Lake, a garden of islands and pure water. Over 1,000 islands scatter across a lake so clear it has earned the name the world's first-class waters. Sunlight falls upon distant hills and nearby islets, blurring them softly into one another. This is Hangzhou's serenity in its purest form. If West Lake defines Hangzhou's poetry and Jixi reflects its gentleness, then Qiantang Lake reveals its vastness. Hangzhou's modern face is not defined by cold steel, but by elegance, intention, and artistic restraint. Qianjiang New City. At night, the skyline unfurls like a luminous scroll. The Hangzhou Grand Theater glows like a crescent moon. The International Conference Center shines like a golden sphere. Together, the pair forms the iconic Sun and Moon Twins, a tribute to Hangzhou's harmony between tradition and innovation. Olympic Sports Center. The Big and Little Lotus. Inspired by lotus petals on West Lake, the stadiums bloom by the riverside. Graceful in the daylight, breathtaking when illuminated at night. The Gate of Hangzhou. The twin towers of the Hangzhou Century Center rise 310 meters into the sky, symbolizing the city's doorway to the future. Around them, Wulin Square, Lakeside Pedestrian Street, and the distinctive curves of Raffles City compose a modern urban language uniquely Hangzhou's. These buildings were never meant to overwhelm. They were meant to express, to give the city a visible future, without losing its Jiangnan soul. Hangzhou turns architecture into scenery, and the future into something you can stand before and feel. Hangzhou is one of China's youngest and most content cities. Mornings begin with quiet footfalls along West Lake, joggers moving through the mist, artists sketching beneath willow branches, and retirees playing soft music by the water. Afternoons belong to cafes, studios, and co-working spaces. Young people tapping keys, drafting ideas, shaping products that may one day travel the world. Evenings soften the city. The breeze along the Qiantang River cools the day's exhaustion. Cyclists glide past. Pets tug gently at leashes, and lights flicker awake above the riverside paths. Hangzhou's sense of happiness does not come from grandeur, but from the texture of daily life. Tea by the lake, a slow walk through a bookstore, a casual afternoon in a hidden alley cafe, or the courage found in a new beginning. Hangzhou is a city that allows you to breathe, to slow down, and to be yourself. Hangzhou's flavors are gentle, refined, and deeply emotional. Longjing tea carries the fragrance of mist and spring. Dongpo pork glistens with patience and warmth. West Lake vinegar fish balances sweet and sour like a quiet conversation. Pioneer Chuan noodles taste like home. Hangzhou cuisine values clarity, freshness, and restraint. Its gentleness lingers. Not overpowering, but unforgettable. In Hangzhou, food is not merely nourishment, it is warmth. A quiet way the city speaks to you. Hangzhou is best experienced slowly. Cycle along Su Causeway where spring breezes brush through willow branches. Walk the white causeway on a rainy day and let the soft drizzle blur the world just enough. Watch the sunset from Liifeng Pagoda. As the sun slips behind distant hills, lanterns begin glowing along the lake and the whole city exhales. Seek culture at Lingyan Temple, where pine trees murmur and incense softens the air. Reflect at Yuefei Temple, or savor snacks and memories along Heifang Street. Drift through Jixi wetland in a wooden boat, letting water pathways carry you through reeds and rippling reflections. Or head to Qiantang Lake, where an entire day can be spent watching clouds, waves, and silence. At night, step into Songcheng and watch the grand show Eternal Love of Song, a sweeping performance weaving together history, legend, and emotion. When the lights rise, you may feel as if you have walked out of another era. Hangzhou's way of travel is gentle and romantic. Never rushed, never loud, always leaving space for you to feel. Hangzhou's future is not imagined. It is already here. This is one of China's most important digital economy cities. E-commerce, AI, fintech, live streaming, new retail, digital governance. Many of the innovations shaping daily life today took form here. Alibaba became a symbol of the city's global reach. Future Sci-Tech City and the City West Science Corridor draw engineers, designers, and entrepreneurs from across the country. For many young people, coming to Hangzhou is not just a trip. It's the beginning of a chapter they want to write for themselves. The Asian Games accelerated the city's transformation. Smarter infrastructure, greener systems, a clearer, brighter urban image. Yet even as it races forward, Hangzhou never loses its softness. It runs and rests at a pace uniquely its own. A city shaped by data and technology, but warmed by lakes, mountains, and human stories. From the dawn of Liangzhu's ancient brilliance to the elegance of the Southern Song, from the timeless glow of Westlake to the futuristic skyline along the Qiantang River. Hangzhou reminds us that poetry is not a relic of the past, but a promise she extends to the future. Here, life slows down, dreams grow larger, and time softens around the edges. This is Hangzhou, a city that writes tenderness into its landscapes and possibility into its future. I am Fantasy Traveler. May every journey help you fall in love with this world again. See you in the next episode.